Listen, man. What's going on, Critical Thought? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. We back with another video, Critical Thought. And, man, I just got the funny notion, man, like, really, just welcome back to the podcast, just talking about some things, because I got some things, man, I kind of want to say because I think it's pretty funny. I want to talk about, I'm just laughing amongst myself, when I look at, like, certain things, right? I really think this whole shake is funny. Or I think people trying to come in like on the internet and like trying to like be other people's like, tell people what's wrong with them and other shit just based off what they, I guess, feel in the air, like without necessarily knowing all the context and all the details. I think on a serious note, I think society, we're getting to a point to where, I don't know, like, it's science versus religion. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really just technicalities and just like analytics and just like truth, like for what it is versus religion and like shit like that, like religion and just emotion. It's religion and emotion versus just the analytics, because you know what I'm saying, people will believe that people don't do certain things just because they don't want to or because of some emotions. But we never take the time to like assess the analytical side of the whole equation and like get the process of like, and really tackle the problem. It's like it's two things, right? It's being goal oriented in terms of like effectiveness, right? In terms of like building structures and systems. And then it's like goal orienting in a sense of just being emotional about it and doing it because of some sort of discipline or religious obligation, and I feel like in a sense some of it is important, like, but I think that's, the topic I really want to talk about and discuss, is just religion versus just analytics, like in science. So I really want to talk, like, listen, so what is more important, right? Like, it's obedience versus purpose or intention, right? Obedience versus intention. You know what I'm saying? And it's a matter of doing things, you know what I'm saying? And it's a matter of saying, like, okay, so are we doing things in a sense to where we're purpose driven? We have a specific intention within the world, within reality. You know what I'm saying? Third dimension that we want to affect real time. Like, we have actual serious problems going on, and I'm looking from my own state of empathy and saying, like, hey, I see something wrong. I see something going on. Let me go ahead and fix this like a human being. You know what I'm saying? Or are we like living in a state of obedience, quote unquote, in a sense to where, you know what I'm saying, we're delusional to a point to where we're seeing things out of our own delusion that we can't, that don't make sense. And because of this delusion, this is why we do the things we do. We do things based off of delusion and illusions, based on doing things off of intention and purpose, right? Intention and purpose. Let me explain what I mean by that, because everyone throws that around, and that's a generalized word, meaning that we do things based off of what we see with our physical eyes, within our physical reality, real time, within what we experience, and around with what the people that were around. You know what I'm saying? From this standpoint, like, are we doing things based off of real time, like through 3D. Like this is why I see this third dimension. In the third dimension, I physically see this as a problem. So let me go ahead and fix it, right? You know what I'm saying? Or let me go ahead and make the solution, right? You know what I'm saying? Is this why we do things, or do we do things based off of obedience, quote unquote? I'm obligated to do this, therefore that's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's a real question, like obedience versus intention and purpose. You know what I'm saying? Did I accumulate some knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Did I include some physical knowledge? You know what I'm saying? That allows me to understand, certain things, how certain things function, and because of the knowledge that I've accumulated, now I'm going to choose to make this decision. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? That's the real question. And the decision I choose is based off the knowledge that I've obtained. You know what I'm saying? I learned this, I interacted with this, I interacted with that. And based off the interaction, I've come to this conclusion, or based off of multiple interactions, I've come to the conclusion that this is the direction that I want to go, or this is the route I want to go. Right? Or compared to, you know what I'm saying? Like, compared to just someone who's just like obedience. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything off obedience. You know what I'm saying? I'm obedient to whatever the fuck, or whatever I see in my mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm really trying to punch at. You know what I'm saying? Am I doing things based off of obedience to what? You know what I'm saying? To something, or am I doing things based off of interaction? You know what I'm saying? And education and knowledge, right? My education level, right? Am I doing things based off my education level, my knowledge, and my interactions? Or am I doing things based off of obedience, quote unquote? You know what I'm saying? And that's really what we want to talk about right now. You know what I'm saying? Is this notion of, you know what I'm saying, or is this psychology of quote unquote obedience, or just doing it just because, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I'm obligated to do this, right? And these are the rippling holes of your life, right? You know what I'm saying? These are the rippling holes of your life right here. Like, these things that you feel obligated to do just because, and you haven't acquired any type of physical knowledge, or, you know what I'm saying, understanding, cognition, or like mental comprehension that you should be doing this, right? You know what I'm saying? There's no comprehension that I've come to the decision to do this. This is just, I'm doing this based off of obedience. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what we really want to tap into and look at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally just interactions and critical, like the 3D, physical world, real life, real time, versus obedience. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we really want to talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we really want to go into. Like, and I'm not talking about having a vision, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, there's different, like, you having a vision, you interpret that vision to reality. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that vision is, right? If you have a vision about something, you have to interpret it and to see how it fits into reality. You don't just have a vision and just say everything come down to no, the vision has to be interpreted to reality. You know what I'm saying? And there's plenty of stories of tribes. I forget which tribe, I can't remember the name of the tribe. Like, I think it was I don't think it was an Indian tribe, but the tribe, like, leader, someone within the tribe had a vision, right? Of some sort of like I think it was the tribe of Judah or something. I don't know. And I don't think it was the tribe of Judah, but they had a vision that it was some an African tribe. They had a vision that there was a location that was designated for them, that to look for, right? And within the vision, the guy gathered clues of something, right? And now the thing about visions, right, is visions are extreme. Like, they can be very extreme, right? And the vision that the guy had, when he was, traveling the lands, it was very vivid. You know what I'm saying? But how it interpreted real time and what the vision really meant was just like, I think it was just like a vision of some like little cactus or something. And like, this is where you're supposed to build. You go to this cactus and you'll be able to, and this is where like they built civilization, or like there was a civilization or something, right? But the details of the vision was just a little cactus. You know what I'm saying? So, and the vivid imagination will probably, will take you all over to tell you all these different things. It's this crazy, but really in real time, it was just a little cactus, right? That they were supposed to be at. So your imagination can really run wild if left off the notion of just the vision. You know what I'm saying? Because there's vision and then there's interpreting it in real time. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? That's a fact, That's a fact, right? How it is really a lot of it is about interpretation. Like, how does the vision that I had really plan out and into what I see, right? Because depending on many things will also like inhibit like how much, like how vivid, like how you want to take the vision. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's different methods of taking the vision. Like, you can take the vision to a point of, doing it to perfection. You can do that, right? If you have the physical strength to do that, you know what I'm saying? And just will all of this shit to fit exactly how you imagine it in your mind. I'm not saying that's not a thing. But with some visions, like the vision of the tribe, right? There can just be, there are clues that you might see within your own mind that may interpret differently within reality. You know what I'm saying? Or not differently, but it may just be, it'll interpret itself to fit into reality. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that you may have a crazy vision, but interpreting it, real time, it might just come out to be a little cactus, right? Not because the vision is small, but because that's how it translates in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want to go, you know what I'm saying? That's what I really want to talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we talk about illusions and obedience, quote unquote, and just doing it just because, and just not thinking about it, not thinking about anything, and just doing just off the sense of just not thinking, right? Like, let's like, there's two types. These are the two ways to live. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm breaking that we're contrasting, right? That are contrasting. It's like that, doing things off an illusion and off an obedience, and then doing things based off interactions of real life. You know what I'm saying? The interactions of real time, real life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really want to really talk about. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing I want to say about that is, you know what I'm saying, the fact that it's the fact that you could be like, it's the fact that, you know what I'm saying, religion, like, you know what I'm saying, it's very easy to become vulnerable and susceptible to information that you need in order to sustain yourself, your health, and your wellness. You know what I'm saying? What even in the as opposed to having something's crazy. This is funny to me, right? It's funny how fucking people try to always insert religion and illusion and all this stuff into everything, right? And everything has to fit the illusion. The fact that we talk about the Bible and we talk about religions in general, right? The funny thing about religion, like, it always comes back to the same thing. After many people dabble in religion like for a very long time, it all comes back to the same thing. Health and wellness comes first, right? Health and wellness comes first. You know what I'm saying? So like, what are we really saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? When we come out of a primal state or primal age of, you know what I'm saying, religions and just worshiping, you know, grass and stuff like this to, you know, actually being able to think for yourself and being able to scientifically create technology and doing these things by interacting with your environment, right? On an interaction level, like, you know what I'm saying? Actually going out and interacting with things and doing things and changing things and, you know what I'm saying, touching things and actually seeing how these things, okay, this works this way, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is what this does. Turning on the light switch, you know what I'm saying? And just interacting with things and actually getting up and moving and this sort of thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just sitting back and just in your own like illusionary, just waiting for like some sort of God or something to just tell you everything to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's what I really want to punch at and talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like come on, man. Like which are you gonna choose? Are you gonna actually get up and look at this shit, look at what you have in your arsenal, look at the things that you know what I'm saying, that you've already created, the things that you've already done, the hard work that you've already put in, and are you going to interact with those things in order to come up and create something that you could actually utilize in order to take you further, right? You know what I'm saying? In order for you to be able to live and live and sit on top of, you know what I'm saying, your environment, right? And sit on top of, you know what I'm saying, this sort of thing. Or are you going to go back into a state of a primal state of religion or a primal state of just, you know what I'm saying, focusing just completely off obedience and you know what I'm saying, quote unquote obedience. And are you just going to just fucking not know, give up your whole mind and intellect and understanding of anything just to stay in a primal state of being dependent? You know what I'm saying? Always having something to depend on, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I really want to, that's the thing I really want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to continue to just have something to depend on, or are you going to go and get what you need, what you know you need, you know what I'm saying? And interact, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I really want to talk about. Like, it's a thing of interaction versus just sitting in a state of, you know, in a state of just not knowing and just being dependent. Because this is where, quote unquote, this is where poverty comes in. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the new age of just straight technology, inventions, and innovations. You got too many people that came around that have invented too many things. You know what I'm saying? And changed the world from a primary state to a technology state. So if you can't interact with the technology within your environment and understand how things work, there's no way you'll be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. That's the whole connector of sports from being a kid or a child to developing in the real world. You go from playing sports, you interact with everything. You know what I'm saying? You interact with your explosiveness, all the different things that you can train to get yourself better. Because you have this big dream of making it to the NBA, NFL, soccer, you know what I'm saying? In it, you know what I'm saying? MLB, whatever the F, right? You know what I'm saying? You got this build dream. That's your goal, right? You got a dream and goal to make it there. You got 100 people or 100 million people that's trying to do the same thing. You know, 100,000 or how many people trying to do the same thing you trying to do, and you gotta be able to you know what I'm saying, get yourself there. And the first thing you think about is, okay, boom, how do I make the team? I gotta fit the role, right? I gotta fit the role, right? That's how I make the team. So let me train this specific way so that I fit the role in order to make the team. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm learning new drills. I'm doing new I'm learning new drills. I'm doing these drills, and I'm knowing exactly how they work. You know what I'm saying? Based on these drills. Like I'm learning these drills. And I know the effects of them, right? When I train it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, since I know the effects of them, I continue to do it on my own time, right? I do this every day. I'm disciplined to them. I'm managing all the drills that I'm doing in order to get me better, in order for me to be able to play on a team. And when I do play on a team, I adjust my game to fit the roles and functions that I play on the team. And I continue to grow myself that way. I never stop training. That's my discipline. I always stay on the basketball court. I always stay on the field. Or I always stay on wherever I'm supposed to be staying on, right? And from staying on there, it's like now I'm constantly developing myself. This becomes my progression, right? As long as I stay on the court, as long as I stay on the field, as long as I stay, you know what I'm saying, wherever I need to be staying at, and training, you know, and managing all of these training systems, then I'm developing, I'm functioning, I'm moving forward, right? It's the same thing when you get into any type of business, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing when you translate it into actually, like, you know, starting your own career for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of chasing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learning shit. Like, you learning anything, right? You learning all of the tools and functions and systems within your, you know what I'm saying, environment that you need to learn in order to be able to know how things function, and you're managing it. That's the key thing, you know? It's managing all these things. And interpreting that also into health and wellness. Right? You're interpreting basketball or football, whatever sport, you're boxing, whatever, you're translating your sport into the functionalities of, you know, your lifestyle, your way, you know what I'm saying? Your lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Period. Point blank, period. You're translating that into your lifestyle. So it's like, that's the thing. And by gaining knowledge of the things you need to gain knowledge of, and then being able to manage those systems, that's life. And when you can get out of that primal state of just praying on something and actually, like, look around in real time what's in your environment, then it's like, okay, now from assessing and looking at what's in my environment, now I can you know what I'm saying, sort of interact with my environment to manage my systems, just like I did on the basketball court. Managing my own business. I'm managing my clothing business. I'm managing my online business. I'm managing my health and wellness. You see? All these things I'm managing, and I'm catering to it just like I would my own body. You know what I'm saying? When I was training, my own game, my own bag. And this is how you manage your system. Like, you have a duty to manage your bag. You know what I'm saying? To manage your game. This is your game. Your business is your game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, instead of waiting back and praying for something, you should always be at a constant state of reinforcing something. Like, literally at all times. And let's be point blank clear. The best systems have the best technology. You know what I'm saying? The best systems have the best equipment that helps them to be able to function help the system function the way it's intended to. how you organize things, right? How you angle yourself to be able to perform whatever functions you need to perform is very important. And that could be something that is done by equipment. Proper equipment, proper software, proper hardware, proper, any of these things, these type of things will help you better set up or angle that crossover. You know what I'm saying? Or better set up your systems. So if your system has a specific function that it needs to do, it would behoove you to develop the complementary skills or complementary equipment needed in order for you to be able to perform the function and sustain functioning and you know what I'm saying, and gain sustainability in the function that you do. You know what I'm saying? And that is the important thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Above all else, right? Above all else, that's what you want to be able to do. So, without further ado, I'm going to conclude this video right here. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace. Love. And we out.